What's up? Today's Under the Cull of MS podcast episode, our standard Thursday episode where we talk about whatever the heck we feel like talking about. Or I feel like talking about. You just gotta listen to my shit. Gonna catch me on a new show that I appeared on recently. Psychotronic Squirt Gun Aaron invited me into chaotic comic book cover displays and more with friends. Check that out on YouTube if you want. Of course, the episode I'm on had to get put into two separate showings because partway through the first recording, all of a sudden started to have an echo problem where everybody was echoing. Uh, but worked it out. The rest of the show came out good, so check it out. See some fun comics that we're showing off and stuff and talking about whatever. I enjoyed it a lot. Great group of characters and stuff, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. But hope to do more in the future. We'll see what happens. Keep an eye out. Actually, it is Thursday's show. We still have a few of these cards to get through, so I might as well do one for this week too. Gonna give you your 6 questions, Star Wars related. I'll give you the answers later on at the end of the show. Whose bald head was covered with a mass of ugly scar tissue? Question 2. Who described the Millennium Falcon as the fastest hunk of junk in the galaxy? Question 3. Who threw an who threw an Imperial biker scout off his ride? Question 4. What planet caused Luke to remark, "There's something familiar about this place"? Question 5. What's the only item of clothing Chewbacca wears? Question 6. Who gets to utter the new line, "Ah, do that again," during the musical sequence in Return of the Jedi Special Edition? Okay. All right. So we'll get back to that later. See what happens. If we can come up with any answers for that. The wife picked me up another metal pin. Oh, where I'm going to put all this stuff. But yeah, Frankenstein with Elvira. Can't go wrong. It's awesome print, awesome image. So that will go with the rest of the piles of stuff I have to straighten up again because I got too many again. Things up there going on. We did check out, I think it was on Hobo Max. The Can't remember the name of it, but it was the follow up to A Christmas Story. Basically focuses on Ralphie and his family, of course. It was all right. Wasn't as constantly going as the original A Christmas Story, but it brings back some characters from the original movie and fun little quirks that they did with those characters. So that was all right. I was doing a bunch of other stuff during it, so I wasn't overly paying attention to it. And the only other thing I'm really watching right now is on Netflix. Yeah, Car Masters Rust to Riches. I'm guessing that Rust to Riches was the version that I watched on some other channel in the past, or possibly this channel. And these are a little bit shorter episodes, but it has more seasons because the one I watched, I think, only had 3 seasons. I think this one has like maybe 8. But if you want a fun car show, watching them start out the season with some shitty, rusted up car that they dig out of somewhere or make a trade for, and they start with that vehicle, fix it up, make it look awesome, trade it up for the next vehicle they're going to work on, fix that one up, trade it up again. Basically, go from little to no money to having a car that's worth a couple $100,000 or whatever, 100,000. Great bunch of guys and gals, all guys and gal, uh, work in the crew, and you don't have the argumentative crap that you get out of a lot of other fix-it shows and stuff like that. Uh, Definitely been a long time since I seen a show with the Orange County Chopper clash. Always so stupid, especially between a father and son. Just every episode, just at each other's throats. It's like, yeah, this is fun. Might as well just fast forward and see the bike in the end, because while you're working on the bike, all you guys are doing is complaining, fighting with each other, and that's no fun. This one's I would say this is probably one of my top 2 to 3 building shows out there. I miss like the old biker build offs and stuff like that. Wish they'd bring those back. Quite some time since they had a new one of those. Not like they aren't doing them still. They still have the events with the contest and everything. So there's people still building bikes every year. So I'd like to see those come back. I don't know if they didn't have good followings or what, but I assume they did, because there's quite a few shows that came out over a certain period. Uh, yeah, I don't have a ton of stuff this week, but I am. No, I don't. That I had comics I wanted to talk about, but I don't see them at the moment. I do have this box of oddball comics trading cards type things. It's 36 cards. We all hate wearing our glasses, but it helps. It's Scott Shaw presents Oddball Comic Set 1, the craziest comic books ever published. 36 cards in a pack. Sorry, for some reason, all of a sudden, as soon as I started doing the show, I start yawning. 36 full color trading cards per pack. Inside, it's got all the publishers, writers, editors, all that written on the inside. Kitchen Sink Press, which is popular for a lot of things. But let's see what we got in here. Let's see, do I have them in order? Number anywhere? I don't see a number. So I guess, oh, there we go. There it is. So yes, I do have, we will go from 36 to 1. Starting out with Zoot Comics, number 2. That image alone, and that would definitely be one I'd jump on in a claim sale. Uh, they have a nice little fact in the back, and then some oddball fact underneath it. But this is undoubtedly the first comic to make the negligible claim of depicting a sexy, funny animal in bondage on its cover. Not to mention a really silly looking animal superhero. Neither this scene nor, in fact, these characters appear anywhere within the comic itself, which does feature such forgettable losers as Senor Tamale, a parrot, Walter the waiter, Stubby and the Jaguar, great superhero who moonlights as a zookeeper. As for the book's title, well, who knows? Uh, yeah, and they got Oddball Fact. Scott Shaw has been collecting oddball comics for over 30 years. His live slideshow on this esoteric subject has become a favorite event at comic conventions across the country. Scott also produces, directs, writes, and designs animated TV series and commercials. He goes on and on about talking about his projects and stuff. Yeah. You got From Here to Insanity, number 11. All very interesting covers. Another of the many imitations spawned by the success of Mad. This issue is unique in that it is written and drawn almost entirely by comics legend Jack Kirby. It includes 20,000 Lugs Under the Sea, Comet Feldmeyer, the Ace of Space, Rex Mortgage MD, the Psycho News, and Line 'em Up, Build It Yourself, and a parody of romance comics, a genre that Kirby co-created with Joe Simon. Old Love. Yeah. Well, let's put them in the right direction. I'm not going to read them all because it will take forever to get through them otherwise. Muggsy Mouse, another awesome cover. I just love these. I gotta find these comics somewhere. We got Punch Comics number 9, July 1944. Nice little gruesome cover there. Got a comic book creator getting choked to death with a noose around his neck on the cover. Looks like he's being choked by his own comic book characters that jumped out of the pages and decided to attack him. You got a woman shooting him, another guy stabbing him, and they are all characters that are on the page that he's drawing at the moment. We got Boy Loves Girl, Volume 1, number 29 from November of 1952. Been seeing some of these comics popping up lately. You got Jeep Comics, Volume 1, number 2 from 1945, spring of 1945. Interesting. I don't know if that's a robot character flying around behind him or what. I don't know what's with the clown pants and the head, but no other clothes. No shoes, nothing. Kind of goofy. Got Manuel Pacifico, Tuna Fisherman, number 1 from 1950. Now, is that supposed to be a tuna that they're trying to shoot at? Looks more like a shark than a tuna. Don't know what he's diving into the water after. We got Lucky Comics, Volume 1, number 2 from summer of 1945. And this one's got a guy choking a girl with some type of fire in the background. Yeah, Ricky and Debbie in Sardine Land, 1960. Yeah, Crimes by Women, number 14 from 1950. It's Crimes by Women, but it looks like she's the one that's being assaulted. What she's saying, "You're not taking me in, copper. Why, you red-headed wildcat." And she's wielding a scissors after him, so I guess she is getting herself in trouble there. Got Never Again, Volume 1, number 1 from August of 1955. Interesting war image there. Got Popular Teenagers, number 6, from November of 1950. Interesting little party going on there. Assuming a costume party of some sorts. So even with normal coloring, this would probably qualify as an oddball item. But this cover's color plates were evidently mixed up by the printer to unintentionally produce a singularly bizarre, almost psychedelic effect, which, among other things, gives the visual impression that the gorilla has an unfortunate bladder control problem. Additionally, weird, the issue's lead story, starring cute co-ed Tony Gay, spotlights Butch Dykman, a male student at the Adonis School of Dramatic Arts. Yeah, I didn't even see that, but yeah. The gorilla's got a little bladder problem going on down there. Little puddle under his feet. We got the story of Johnny Surge from 1947. Looks like a walking, talking toaster, talking to the farm animals. Subtitled, Why We Don't Push the Sale of Pine Tree Milkers. This 16-page giveaway was created to promote the sale of Surge cow milking machines. As builders of both the Pine Tree and Surge milkers, we present this bit of fantasy in the same vein as Aesop wrote his fables. Okay, that is a milking machine. I can see the udder suction cups behind his head. He looked like a toaster at first. We got Calling All Boys, number 14 from 1947. Looks like Bob Hope on the cover there. Is that? No, J. Edgar Hoover. It's hard to tell when you're looking through the screen. We got All Negro Comics, number 1, in June in 1947. Those are very conflict-causing comics. Screwing up and putting the cards the wrong way. I want to do that. Yeah, Criminals on the Run, Volume 4, Number 7, from June-July 1949. Fisherman whipped the fish at the one guy and smacked him in the face with it, causing him to shoot his gun off in the air. Fisherman can get away. Got Love Journal number 10 from October 1951. Some funky faces on that cover. Got Zip Jet, Supersonic Enemy of Evil. Almost looks like Catman and Catgirl there. Yeah, see what this is about. The cover of this crazily titled comic lamely attempts to combine superheroics and horror. Tech, Carson and his girl Friday, Pat Don, form fitting vinyl suits equipped with midget jets to fight typical comic book villains. I can just imagine the bad guys laughing themselves into submission after speaking aloud the hero's name. Else that important on there? Yeah, oddball or forward with Eisenhower Nixon, 1956. I am not a crook. Volume 1, number 4, from June of 1954. More fun, mad style comics. We got Is This Tomorrow from 1947. Hopefully that's not tomorrow, because if it is, the world is burning. We got Colonel Corn Trains a Champ from 1950. Kind of champ is he training? A corn grower, I guess. Like some of these got some weird stains that they must have had when they took the images. 'Cause they're not actual stains, but it just looks like the comic stain. Got the Bouncer #1 from 1944. I'm sure a lot of these are very hard to come across. You got some massive calf stuff going on down there. Kind of like his calf's getting pinched and pushed up. Got Muggy Doo, Boy Cat, Volume 1, #3 from November of 1953. Let's see. How to Play by Ear. So he's smacking his ear on the. Well, not really. His ear has a hand coming out of it to play the piano, which is really weird. Sorry. This has got to be one of the oddest comic book titles of all time. A fairly well executed, funny animal comic, written and drawn by Post in a style very reminiscent of Walt Kelly's Pogo. I can see that. The book stars Boy Cat, Muggy Doo, and his pals Elmer the Elk, Ori Orangutan, Ash the Hound, and Porcine Stuffy Derma, named after a particularly disgusting deli meat. An oddball fact: Muggy Doo and Stuffy Derma were featured characters in Hal Seeger's Milton the Monster animated cartoon series from 1965 to 1968 on ABC. We got I've seen a Milton the Monster comic not long ago, I could have swore. But with surprising differences, Muggy was now a fox and Stuffy had become a wealthy human hobo. All right, we got Teenage Temptations, Volume 1, #8 from June of 1954. Teenage Temptations to what? Rape someone? This gal's beaten, and you keep out of this, Fenton. I'm not losing the time and dough I invested in this chick. Looks like the stories are The Price of Sinful Dates and Masquerade Marriage. Okay. Catholic Comics, Volume 2, #10 from July of 1948. Got some high dive artists there. Slapstick Comics, Volume 1, #1 from November of 1945. Slapstick's been around for a while, so I didn't realize it went back that far. So that's kind of interesting. Got He-Man #1 from May of 1954. Don't see He-Man at all, which is kind of weird. Code of the Jungle, Mr. Flatfoot. It's nothing like the He-Man Masters of the Universe. We got My Romantic Adventures, #50 from October, November 1954. We got Atomic War, #1 from November of 1952. It's like already making books and movies back then about it. Taking down New York, it looks like. We got Slick Chick Comics, #2 from 1947. That's another interesting looking one. Featuring the hilarious adventures of Tiny, teenage blonde shell, and all her pals. No, the title of this comic isn't Suck Chick. It only looks that way. This is due to its particularly obscured and poorly designed logo. By any name, this comic's cover has more than enough elements to make it an oddball classic, certainly by my demanding standards. A rarely seen plaid logo, not one but two monkeys dancing the jitterbug, two matching Hawaiian shirts, two pairs of Argyle socks, and a marginally offensive Italian organ grinder stereotype. You can see why they thought it says suck chick. We got Oddball Comics, Wisconsin Forest. There's no date for this one. Excuse me again. Looks like you got it's done by the Wisconsin Conservation Department. Looks like you got Paul Bunyan dumping out a bunch of products that you can make from a tree. This 28-page educational giveaway item was produced in the hopes of instilling a spirit of conservation in school kids, long before it was fashionable to address such issues. But for all its good intentions, the publication sports one of the wackiest covers ever seen. Not only does this guy look like he could be Sergio Ardon's long lost lumberjack cousin, but his crotch level, log of plenty, forms a rather bizarre phallic image. So that's where paper, lumber, and bowling pins come from. How many trees died to make Wisconsin's forest anyways? I don't get the whole phallic symbol or anything, and I get more Paul Bunyan than anything. Just because it's a curved tree. And... All right, we got Just Married, Volume 7, Number 8, from December 1975. We got Weird Horrors, Volume 1, Number 7, from 1953. Voodoo cover going on there. And we got Picture Parade, Volume 1, Number 1, from September of 1953. Another one of the atom bomb going off in the background. Don't know why that would be called Picture Parade. A classic example of naive 50s optimism regarding atomic energy. Giveaway comic was originally distributed through the public schools. A separate teacher's edition was even published. Andy's Atomic Adventures details how a boy learns about atomic energy after his pet dog Spot runs off onto nearby atomic testing ground and becomes contaminated with radioactive dust. Oddball fact, cover artist Peter Costanza is also known for his work on Captain Marvel and Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen, who Andy Wilson greatly resembles. Right. And number 1 is Space Western Comics, Volume 1, Number 40 from 1952. Yeah. Big old spaceship in the background with an alien grabbing a woman. And Lone Ranger or someone riding a horse. Oddball fact about this one, in recent years, cover artist John Belfi has taught cartooning at the prestigious Joe Kubert School. Yes, this pack of cards is from 1993. Kitchen Sink Press. Fun, interesting covers. Nice little box of cards there. All right, the last thing, since we're hitting the 30-minute mark that I want to talk about, is the wife and I went and seen Red One with The Rock in it. Uh, it was enjoyable. Another fun, goofy Christmas movie. Only negatives I would really say to it is two times they bring out a swear word, even though the F word wasn't fully said, it was insinuated. They start saying it and then they get cut off by the scene. I really have no I don't understand at all why they had to use those two swear words in this movie. It's a perfectly family friendly movie up until that point. I mean, we were in the theater with only like 4 or 5 other people. It was a family that was behind us, and they had a couple kids with them, but it's like the movie is family friendly enough that they could have just went without saying those two swear words in it, and it would have been more enjoyable, I think. I just think it's so stupid that people have to push the swear words into everything nowadays. I hear them so much. They frustrated me so much. I tried not to say them much at all in my podcast and stuff, but you just hear it so much that just it's there in your head. You don't even think about it anymore. So when I see stuff like that, it's like, yeah, you didn't need to do that. The other thing, I can't think of his name. Wonderful actor. Love everything he does. Who plays Santa Claus. And he's super buff. So the one thing us fatties have, Santa Claus, they gotta take that away now too. It's like you see a lot of the Santas lately. It's like Goldberg Santa and stuff like that. Santa's sleigh. Uh, they just, yeah, they've been jacking up the Santas. Don't want the fat Santas around anymore. Don't want to represent the fat people for anything. So we lost that one. We lost our one of our top heroes. But yeah, good movie. I enjoyed it. It was a fun little matinee Christmas special that we went and checked out. First movie in a long time. I figure first movie in a long time that we've gone to. It's been a bit, uh, sadly, but it's to a point now where I can't get away at all unless I have someone here. And on Monday, certain Mondays, my one niece comes and spends time with Ma, and my wife had to take 2 days of vacation, so she took last Monday off and this coming Monday. So we might hit another movie next Monday also. And then Nosferatu, I think, is coming out on Christmas Day or the day after Christmas, but I think it's Christmas Day. And if it does, then the wife and me will probably go see that also, which I'm hoping to hit it early because they have shaped coffin shaped popcorn containers that I've seen pictures of. So I wanna definitely get one of those for the wife's Dracula collection. So we will see what happens with that. But that's enough stuff. Let's get to our 6 questions again and see what the answers have to offer. All right, number 1. Whose bald head was covered with a mass of ugly scar tissue? Would that be Emperor Palpatine, Darth Vader's, or Anakin Skywalker's? All right, I suppose I should have said Darth. Duh. You take the mask off and stuff. But I was just thinking about Palpatine's ugly face. Yeah, who described the Millennium Falcon as the fastest hunk of junk in the galaxy? Well, I want to say, and you would think Han Solo. Yeah, we'll go with Han Solo. Lando Calrissian, that's it. I was gonna say him also, because then Han depends the Falcon, even though they've each owned the Falcon at certain times. Who threw an Imperial biker scout off his ride? I want to say Chewie, the obvious choice, but Chewie didn't drive it, so it would have to be either Luke or Han. So I'm gonna say Luke on that one. Yep, Luke Skywalker. What planet caused Luke to remark, "There's something familiar about this place"? And that would be Dagobah, right? Where he goes and trains with Yoda. I think that's Dagobah. Yep. What's the only item of clothing Chewbacca wears? Well, his ammo strap. That's the only thing I can think of. Doesn't have no other helmet or thankfully not wearing shorts or something like that, like they've done with some of the characters, but it's not really clothing. But I would have to say that 'cause it's that and his crossbow are about all I see him with. A bandolier. Yep, that would be what I'm talking about. Who gets to utter the new line, "Ah, do that again," during the musical sequence in Return of the Jedi Special Edition? The only time I really recall music was at Jabba the Hutt, so I would say Jabba. And yes, it is Jabba the Hutt. Eh, Got through another one of those. Only a couple more left that I got off to the side. I think three of them. So you'll have to deal with that for 3 more weeks before I decide what the next thing is going to be that I talk about, or 4 weeks. There's four of them. I got 4 weeks left of those. So then we'll get to the next whatever I decide to pull out and either quiz you guys on or talk about weird stuff. But that's it for today. We ran over our half hour. So keep following Under the Cull of MS. Rate, review, subscribe, tell a friend, give us those likes. Check out Aaron's Psychotronic Squirt Gun channel and Chaotic Comic Book Cover Displays and more with friends. Hopefully I'll be on some more episodes of those or some other things in the near future. And check out Crimson Cull Comic Club for our group podcast, and we'll get back with more of these and lots of other stuff sometime soon. Check us out every day. We just about every day put something out. All right. Thanks. Take care. Bye.